Yeah, I just can't get these to work, which is gonna be problematic for
Let's stop.
okay.
Yeah, something.
We don't. Where's my record? There we go. Come on. There we go. Okay.
Right?
No.
Do we need to start over again?
If you would.
Okay, so. I'll call this regular session. Let's get order. It is Wednesday, November 12th. It was 6 p.m. and we'll do the roll call. Samantha Madison,
It's not election.
Ruth LaFrance, Chair.
Tom Connington.
Brown. Yeah.
All right, approval of meeting minutes, so they're ready to. Eight.
I've checked out those minutes and I would make a motion to approve those minutes as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve and a second discussion.
It was a great meeting.
All right. So, favor review. Oops. Okay. Public non-agenda item, but public, so we. There, bills, payments, and financial reports. Anybody got anything to think about this?
You sent me, all right, I've got Kyle Ayers' second invoice. I tried to forward it to you guys. Did you guys get it? The last email said it didn't come through. Go
I
on.
have it.
You did get it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I don't need to resend it.
Nope.
Great, then we can keep moving on that.
Okay.
He's obviously ready to be paid, but I've spoken with the phone and he's like, no, we're not. So
Yeah.
when we get it, we get it.
But he got the first payment. Okay, so yes, he, and I told him in an email that when I got to get it in, so that like.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, okay, all right. So
He's not too worried.
Right.
Okay.
Next month.
Yeah.
Great, anything else?
I mean, if there is any way we can expedite that, that'd be great. We have to wait until next month to vote on it or something, or can you pay him now? I'm just confused the process.
But also they. And this is for everybody.
Mhm.
They get it in, everybody came in like the day before and we're supposed to take it in. And then there's sort of proof that they did what they're supposed to, working for us. So it's- He did it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could, I suppose we could approve it, but then you could have, we don't have to check.
Right.
Gotcha.
He doesn't mind me.
Great.
Then it's not like it's there.
No, it's not. It's small
Okay.
potatoes formal.
Yeah.
He said what he appreciates is that we are communicating, because some places go silent and then he's like, oh.
Am I actually gonna get paid? Yes. Yes.
That helps me, and just going to do that. Minutes. Alright, yeah, what's the next,
Okay, so we looked at all these things and they're okay with it. They noticed under outstanding commitments that not only do we have meals building, but. That. Kelly Rayner, just the current group stuff is on there. Chamber of Commerce bioswales is on here, and then. The grant. Students. It looks like we have $5,000. That's 5 minutes.
after all that?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, community reports. So the first thing on the community reports, it says Chamber of Commerce, request for reimbursement. I sent this packet of information to everybody who was on the contract with it, so when you get this, email, and make it. But anyway, and the reason I did this is because this is just kind of for everybody else's information. This was done 2 years ago. And we never, and so the board said that we would give them a grant of $12,000. They would have to come up with everything else themselves. It was too much for anyone like that. But we never put together, for whatever reason, an agreement. So then all of a sudden, whoosh, and here's a bit. So this is the history of that. Justin, and it's through the chamber. So Justin did send some checks, we got the invoice here, and he did send a summary memorandum that was sent to him. So we know that the study was done. We also know, and I would be happy to send this out to everyone else, that if they ever manage to go through with this project, right now, it's estimated to be $814,000. So you can get $814,000 to fix the bioswales.
So the 12,000 was for a study?
Well, yes, it was for study,
Okay.
and if they didn't get the study done, then ODOT wouldn't talk to them. When the study had come to be, then ODOT talked to them. So, but I would be more than glad to just email this mess to you.
That's like, unless the others, if you're gonna do it to one, you can do it to all of those.
Well, I sent it to the contract.
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay, so that they, and the reason I sent all of this was because I wanted you to see what the history was, because nobody's gonna remember 2 years ago, and Samantha was here 2 years ago, so it wouldn't make any sense, and there's no contract. I don't know why.
And just,
Let that happen again.
and just out of curiosity, so they did it, they wanted to do a study of the bioswales, to what effect? What was their hopeful outcome?
Well,
If they were,
they were trying to find out if something could be done. And so they're all, let me send some of this to you.
what's in, okay,
Alternate concept, I'll send it to me. And what they could do to change them is the problem apparently is that they look awful because of what's growing in them or not growing in them, because the plants they put in there didn't do very well. And but you have to have certain stuff in there and just take it out, so it's in, and that's although I think they did that. It's no. And so anyway, and then I don't know what they, I didn't actually read the report. I don't know what the big was, because I personally thought it was a waste of $12,000. But anyway, well, where are you gonna get $800,000?
Yeah, it's a plant that's.
Well, to change all those bioswales, it's crazy because the city needs other things far more than they need or neat looking bioswales. Like I said, I think you could.
You could probably clean, straighten down. They're a big concrete basin and then there's just soil on top of it.
Yeah, but it's a special soil. It's not just any soil, it's special bioswales.
I got a buddy, he's a dirt farmer down in Salem. I'll give him a call, we'll find out what's going on in these spots.
The city does. Their maintenance people actually go, I think, once a month. Because they just really don't have time doing all that and clean them out. Well, but they can pick up trash. So the really neatest looking one is the one in front of the Fat Dog Pizza, because it's got a spider in it. Have you seen it?
yeah, very good.
Very big, another spider. Yeah, so a few more, maybe that's what we need. Maybe they just need to put something in it.
That's good.
Anyway, so that's what this was.
Okay.
Now I told you.
Right.
And that will be I've already told Justin, we're not, because he didn't get anything really essentially on time, I told him when he had to have it by the end of October, it didn't get here then. So I said, we'll take it up in December, so.
Well, I just did about 5 seconds of clicking and clapping on ChatGPT, and I've got the soil mix.
The,
Yeah, so $12,000 definitely went. It's 50 to 60% sand, 20 to 30% compost, and then 10 to 20% topsoil silt clay. Because like you said, it's special because it drains quickly.
right, yes.
So, should we go Rosenberg?
Yeah.
Or we go 800,000? You're gonna sand? You're gonna sand for you?
Sure.
Sam knows where to get sand, on where it goes.
Well.
Anyhow.
Yeah, she gets 400K for that.
Shit. Like, East Andrews, that's a bar.
It's not hard.
Yeah,
So that's what that is.
okay.
So Recurrent sent a request for reimbursement. And I can put a contract for you, already check that out, and this is. Has your invoice here, and your checks that she did, and. Whatever else. Anyway, so. Then you check it
Yeah,
out.
and I went by there and I could tell that it was done. So,
It got
looks like
painted.
it's been done, yeah, so that's all we need is pretty much.
Yeah.
Proof that it's been done, okay,
Then you got painted.
okay.
And I think she was gonna paint both sides again, because the front looks, the piece that was already painted looks really bright too.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
It does, looks good.
Yeah.
I didn't see anyone listed there, but I drove by and I'm not on the contract committee, but I do have eyes. And I saw someone on the ladder.
Nice to see a bright color, not just tan, you know what I mean? It's
Oh.
nice to see a little- Yeah, there's some life
It
to
really
it,
sets apart.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 That's good.
Okay, so essentially, I guess we need a motion to pay, Kelly Rayner the $7,000.
I would like to make the motion that we pay the reimbursement check as approved.
I second,
Any more discussion? Comments? We can do all the comments thing. Okay, all in favor?
I,
Opposed? Sign in, you will sign in, hear that. All right, now. We are up to the sidewalk portion here. This is when you get a chance.
yep, I can go with that. Some information for it real quick.
So what would we be looking at?
We don't have anything to look at just yet. And I do want to address the email, because I was reading it when I was on the way over here. So. To be transparent and to attract contractors, I did a couple of things. One, I did my own research, people I knew, Google, ChatGPT, find people. Two, I reached out to the state offices of COBID, that's COBID, and that oversees the small business, disenfranchised business, veterans businesses, women's owned businesses. Its purpose is to cycle capital into the historically disenfranchised from the economy. And I got them to send me a list of contractors that would be able to do this level of service. So I took that list, I took my information, and I reached out to a bunch of contractors. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 from my process and that process. Out of all of that, that said they would be able to bid. Out of the 7 that said they would be able to bid, only Frank has been actively bidding. So everybody else has either responded with, this looks good and we're gonna get to it, or one of the contractors said, actually, upon looking at the scale, this is too much for us, we'd love to be considered for a single section of sidewalk, but we can't do, this level of work.
One second, what time?
Maybe it was, maybe one,
See, that's that.
we do this over 20 years.
You do one section, and you move on.
Hey, one second, I'll reach back out to the folks. Let's see that. Okay, so, only Frank is actively bidding right now. That being said, the other contractors may not be asking questions, and they may be able to get us something. So with your email, you are correct, but at the same time, there's a little bit of this gray area. When I've been in this process and I've asked questions, I've been able to ask questions directly to a project manager, one-on-one, but large questions that are like broadly clarifying, like if a contractor caught a mistake in the information, then what they have to do is then they have to publicly send that question and that information to all of the contractors that have said that they are bidding. So if I say, something small like, who does the painting? I don't know, they can be like, you do. Cause that's kind of clear, but if I'm like, hey, are the linear foot calculations correct on this? Then they would examine that and then an entire addendum to the RFP would go out to everybody all at once. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
And we can verify more of that with Sean, and
Yeah.
if there's a better way to post this, then this would be better to get more bids than just Frank.
Right.
Right. I think,
Pursue that.
I think with the city, it should go on our website.
Yeah.
They also, in general, when the city has, is putting out an RFP, I think they, have to go through that like Herald also.
Great.
And I don't know if Facebook would be an appropriate use for this, but
City
the,
website.
but the city website for sure.
Well, the city Facebook could say, hey, we have an RFP actively soliciting bids.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, so those are kind of the things that I think might be helpful in this situation.
That'd be great.
Now, I don't know if we put out an RFP and only get one bid, are we able to proceed? We just have to, I just wasn't sure if our bylaws require 3 bids, it's just that's best practices and we have to go through the RFP process. Okay.
We will have done it, so, yeah, so Sarah said that it says that it's October 31st of 21, and these one new ones.
I thought I updated it in the RFP that I sent out for right around now. I thought maybe it was end of November. Let's see if I can pull it up. I kind of. Opens design stages. November 28th is the deadline for bidding.
Okay. We've got 1 week here.
Yeah, and like I said, these other people could come in and I'll do some checking in with people, but I don't think it's the end of the world if we end up with Frank, he's clearly competent, he's clearly,
He's very interested because he already got in touch with us and wanted to come tonight and answer questions. It's like, well, we don't have proposals, no action has any questions.
Yeah.
Right,
But I told him he'd come back in December, so we true.
yeah.
And then the next thing is we are gonna need to keep moving forward with the permittable set and the engineered set. And I've been talking to Kyle about having him send his proposal over, and he keeps saying he will be sending it, and I've been leaving voicemails and calling people, but. Right now, also, it seems like we may only be in a situation where one person bids on that engineering stuff. So I will continue to, grind on that and get some information, because that would take him a couple of weeks, but then we would have something concrete, new year, I think we could still be on track for that. Any other questions for you? Thoughts or prayers?
Thank you very much for taking all that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You make us look good.
With your spelling, my vibrato.
The only other thing is that I think we need to go and talk to the maintenance people again. And take all of this stuff and say. We wanna make sure we buy the TURA sidewalks up.
Yeah.
Building.
Mhm.
Because I think I mentioned this before, I went down there driving around. When they were doing a lateral line, I understand
Sure.
that, but then they tore up the sidewalk here, it's like,
Sure.
I don't wanna build these then.
What's the name?
Destroy them.
Yeah.
Yeah, then a few weeks later, they launched a sidewalk initiative.
Yeah.
Well, considering how much money the city has.
Maybe the city should start selling pizza.
Maybe. Maybe.
That might be socialist. Alright, next step.
Okay, so the next thing on here is. You know, at the top, that. P&J meeting dates are gonna be changed in November, December because of holidays. So, we'll have one on the 19th if there's anything to have one about, and then another on the 17th.
There is, going to be one, next week.
Oh, but
I have a request from, Madeline's
Oh,
updated,
that's right.
she put in a full application. And I have a pre-application from Terry Phillips for his building over here.
what building over here?
The,
Oh, the white, the right one? The white and black one?
yes,
Okay,
the,
okay.
the one,
Yeah, no, I know. It's the main building.
yes, I
No,
couldn't remember, I know, I just couldn't remember. He was told originally, I think that that he didn't have to put sprinklers in, and now he's been told he does have to put sprinklers in. And so he didn't include that in his original proposal, so now he's saying he would like some help, so.
That is gonna be so expensive, cause they're gonna have to rip open all those ceilings, all that drywall.
Oh, no.
No, and the one that he's just.
I think it's upstairs.
Is it the Beals building?
No, I thought it was.
Because he was gonna do the upstairs in the Beals building first. So in the bank building, he did the downstairs first for the retail places, and he was gonna do the apartments. Was phase 2, whatever. But the Beals building, he was gonna do it the opposite direction, he was gonna do the apartments first.
Well,
115 Main.
115 Main, how will that be the main building?
I hope it's the upstairs, because that's undeveloped, is that correct? The upstairs? So-
Yeah, it's the upstairs.
Let's hope it's the upstairs.
We should set them out on the floor.
There we go.
Okay, well, all right, then I guess P&J will be meeting.
Yes,
I'll be here the 19th.
November 9th.
Yeah.
yeah, next Wednesday.
Okay.
Oh, here, just it's basically. No problem.
All right. Okay, so moving on. The big thing tonight was to review all these applications and, guidelines and see if we could, update them. So each of you should have a copy that looks like this on the front, because I spent that one. So I spent some time working on this and actually cut and paste these, that's why they're lines, because I use rubber cement and little pieces of paper.
Oh, wow.
Like I wanted that.
The original meaning of cut.
Well, if it's in it's a PDF, you can't work with it.
That's true.
I can copy it, but it doesn't show up the same when you paste it, it looks,
Oh, I agree.
so it's just easier to.
No, my wife would be, her heart would grow. Those are her first careers, copy pasting things for newspapers, doing a little, cut it out, and gluing them together.
Well, I did that when I was in high school. It was always a good time to go down to the local newspaper and play with rubber cement roll. Okay, so. The reason we can have this, and I explain my reasoning, is that I decided that we probably did not need a pre-application.
Hmm.
And the reason that I decided we probably didn't need a pre-application is because when you read through everything. It would say that the staff, once you fill in your pre-application, the staff will look at it with you and decide if you're within the TURA boundaries. And if you have managed to come up with at least one objective plan. We don't have staff that does that anymore because there's no staff here. And so. There's not a big deal difference between an application and a pre-application.
No,
And so if they do the full application, then. They come to P and J, and if P and J looks through it all and says, well, this off here, we can make a recommendation, or they might say, well, you're missing like. Well, it's no different than if they just, if there's not a lot of extra things. And these are really simple applications, they don't require a great deal of.
yeah,
And so, the only thing that's difficult for some of them is getting the contract bids, but you're gonna have to get the bid anyway, so.
yeah,
Okay, so that's what I did. So essentially, if that's okay with you people,
I love that.
Yeah.
then if you look at this package first, which was in your tonight, and explain what I did, I think. So I didn't like the way it looked originally, but I really liked the way that the pre-application looked.
Mhm.
So that's the first page here is actually. I took the pre-application page and then I fixed it so that I can combine the pre-app information along with just the application. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, synthesized it.
Yeah, and so, in the first. A little paragraph up here says, please review all program guidelines, and at the end of it, it says. TURA potentially offers grants, loans, combinations of grants and loans, and design assistance. Says something about blade signs, but I think if you look around town, you'll find out that blade signs aren't really a big thing anymore. People are taking down their awnings and it's kind of hard to, put up a blade sign usually. Awning. So anyway, so I just did that design assistance, and I figured that'd be good.
Good.
The other two things, and then I changed date to date of submission, because that was what was on several part of the. And then. I changed, so I got past number 5, and this was on the pre-app, so we were still kind of working through that, but it's now just the private project assistance application. I put in a number 6, acknowledgement of planning communication. And so in your packet, you will have this page here, so. Okay.
Yep, in the back.
That, of this particular part of that. And I actually turned it into one page from what Victor had done, he put it all together. Just to try, that's.
Sure. Yeah.
You can even lose anything. Anyway, so this lets people know that they really need to go and see the planner. And then this verifies that they actually did that. They don't have to get the permits right away, but they have to let the planner know that they're planning, and they have to find out if they need permits. Where to get all that kind of stuff, so this tells us that they actually did that. That is what that was. If that's okay with you. And then, what was 6 now became 7, the TURA objectives, and so then they go through and they fill all that out. And then on the next page, it was 7, we thought was 8. And I changed the wording on here. Because the wording in these documents is not necessarily always consistent. So I changed it to, so it would say, we're connected to any project that was begun or completed prior to the signing of a contract is not available for funding, because that's what we've been doing.
Yeah.
You have to sign that contract.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that kind of made that the same. And then the number 10, where you have all these little things you're supposed to, check boxes. I put the acknowledgement of plan and communication with bottom.
Hmm.
But you're gonna have a really good time formatting all this mess. There's
This is so much better.
this should be somewhere
Yeah.
in there, since what, there's a Word document, you think?
I think so.
If not, I can convert the PDF.
I can make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I discovered that Q. Well, case Q gives you that box. You think it's, okay.
No, that's how you,
My computer skills are somewhat limited.
that's creative, that works. You know what they
Um,
say, if it's stupid and it works, it's still stupid.
Okay, and then they have the certification by the applicant, which became number 11 and fit on the next page. And then, I changed this because it said that they had to have all the permits. Well, you don't have to have the permits when you turn in your application. That would be ridiculous. And so I changed it to read, is true and complete to the best of the applicant's knowledge, and that all required permits will be obtained prior to the project start date. So which makes sense. And then, and I don't know how you feel about this, but it says return completed application 2, and so in the original forms you have, just gave the address. I put or email to TURA, but I'm wondering if we can't just have all of them email, because that's what everybody does now.
I agree.
I do get actually a fair amount of hand filled out. Applications.
Okay, well, that was sweet, so.
Okay.
Make it easy for people. but-
Yep.
Okay.
This is great, thank you, Richard.
Good job.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it, the next one is the property owner, and this is all part of the same packet, the private project assistance. The next part is the property owner consent form, and how everybody who owns the property, and everything like. Covering. So down here where it says return to, and I'm hoping you not have a return to on here. Which is all this should be in the packet.
Well, I mean, I see, the only logic I see why this would be here is if you gave this to the property owner, perhaps, and it got separated, yeah.
Okay, so then it should say, or you can email, and then here's the email address. That's what that little works.
Yep.
Yes.
And then the next page was, and the page number down here, obviously, won't need any. Just what I had. Okay, the next one was the budget. I can see any reason to have the budget in between the first page and the second. Then you have the approval agreement and receipt of funding. Okay, so here, there's a couple of changes that I made. That, I didn't, that date. So number 1, is I understand that money's refunding.
I'm having trouble with them, where we're at.
Oh, okay. This is the same.
Is that the packet that I was sent?
No, because you're only. Well, it's in your, it's in your, is it tonight's,
Okay,
Page 26.
thank you. Sorry for the.
No, that's, I think, approval agreement, right?
Yep, I think,
your approval agreement.
Okay.
yep,
Okay, so number 1. I understand that monies shall not be distributed until all processed work. And then, after the word work, I would put or agreed upon phases are completed and inspected. Because we don't expect somebody to necessarily do a whole project all at once. They can do it in section.
Yep.
Okay.
Proposed work, what? Sorry.
All proposed work or agreed upon basis.
Okay.
Are. And then I just continue with completed and inspected.
Yep.
Okay.
that makes sense to me.
Yep.
And down to number 5, the second line, any time extension must be filed and approved. Insert the word by after approved by the report. And then once again, at the bottom, I would say for TURA. Email address.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the next thing I have in my packet here is the TURA acknowledgement of planning communication. It's to that and to leave. And then we have the United forms. That's basically the application.
I think this is great. I think it's super cool that you streamlined it, made it easier for people, less redundancies. And I think it's really important that you outline agreed upon phases. Yes. Then the contractor has cash flow, the developer has cash flow, yeah, that's perfect.
Find your things, man.
When you mentioned page number 26, I got caught up, but then I got lost again. So, you mentioned a W2 in here or W?
Yeah, there is a W9.
Or W9, okay, at the very end.
The very end of that particular packet, and it's on way past that.
I'm way past, okay, I'm on this other plan right now.
Oh, yeah.
Sarah, you need,
They get past.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm missing.
Okay, okay, let's see. So for this,
What's that?
Sarah,
so stay right together and then.
I don't know why I'm off.
Oh, so I don't think I have that.
Well, because you're not gonna have,
Yeah, I don't have all this.
and some of these things may not be in there because Sarah didn't necessarily have to. Copy with all this stuff, but it doesn't like.
Oh, maybe that's what
That's why you don't have,
I didn't think about it.
yeah,
You're right.
I know it's, you're only gonna have some of this.
Okay.
The other part that would be, in that, well, you would have that, yes, sorry. Yeah, so this would be what the application is. This is just the application, let's say. Okay, now, are we ready? So now you have the telemetry renewal agency private project and assistance and action plans. These should have been part of your packet.
What page number is that?
13.
13.
So, I didn't cut and paste this, because most of it's in video. But if you look down where it says, it's under private projects, must meet at least no objective. So the second paragraph is underlined. It says, so I made a little change here. It says, work connected to any project that was begun or completed. And then, and here it said prior to submission of an application form. Now that's not true anymore. Prior to the signing of a contract is not available for funding. So it would be changed to, you were gonna cross out submission of an application and change that to the signing of the contract.
is not available for.
Yeah. So just cross out submission of an application and change it to the signing contract. And then if you look down to the bottom of the page, where it says program requirements, number 1. At the very end. Let's see, the city planner will determine if the project requires such approval. They're talking about, planning tools and all that. This comes, and then I added the sentence, compliance with this requirement is documented with the acknowledgement of planning communication form found in the application.
Just let people know this.
It goes slow, goes slower.
Compliance with this requirement it is documented with the acknowledgement of planning communication form.
Acknowledgement of planning.
Communication form, so that was in your.
Yeah.
Your thing.
It's just drawing attention to that process. So it's helpful, it's good to reference it.
Found in the application. And the person would know it's a private application packet, because this is private. Headlines. So the next, are you all caught up?
Yeah.
Okay, page 2 of this, or the next page, and that's probably page 14. You have.
Yeah.
Okay. The only thing I changed was number 6. Oh, no, I think I wouldn't change number 6. Yeah. So, shoot. Number 3. Got it. Yeah. Number 3, the TURA award, number 2, TURA awards funds are awarded by application only except the discretion of the board. Number 3, it talks about meeting, by population. Okay, I guess yeah, that's okay. Number 6, applicants of approved projects and cross out will be is what are required. You see it better. Whoops.
Number 3, where it says staff will meet with private project applicants to determine if the proposed project meets at least one of these.
Yeah, that's not true, really.
Right,
Yeah.
so that whole first sentence, I think, could be gone, right?
Yeah, so that reverts back to. To the pre-application.
Yeah, cause then it says, then if we get rid of that first sentence, it just is left with the applicant will be asked if design or engineering assistance is required. And be given an application if such assistance is desired.
Yes, and I know I changed that somewhere, but I guess I didn't change it.
Then the applicant will then be given a full application. I don't blame you. So maybe we just put something in there about
Oh, I have.
the applicant needs to, okay,
We'll come to it.
okay,
So, okay, the rest of it should be okay. I don't know, I simply crossed out number 3 altogether. Because there was something else that I had put in some, yeah, was you're gonna have to change all of them.
well, it might do it for me on the document, but if not, that's okay, I can do it. So you cut out 3 altogether. Okay.
Alright.
That's okay.
No, it's kind of puts that. Oh, yeah, makes sense.
So we are gonna be eliminating the 3, that's on page 14, and rewriting number 3. We are, okay, is it lengthy?
2 sentences.
That's what I'm saying.
So we're keeping a number, we're keeping a number 3 or not?
Well, there will be a number 3.
Okay,
So here we go. So we took care of the compliance thing on the first one, with number 1, this is okay, number 3 would, I took the whole thing out and it says, well, I did this before, before I had decided to do something, so sorry, that didn't work. We'll see what happens. Anyway,
Don't feel like you're under pressure to do the rest.
Yeah.
Just do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not finding it, so. I'm changing this. All right. No, I changed it to mean something like, um. Maybe we just, let's just take the whole thing out and see what happens.
Okay,
But number 3 is gone, so you have to just change up.
that's fine.
Okay,
Oh.
and then 6 just says, so you're gonna change will be to R.
Okay,
That takes care of that. Okay,
So 4 will become 3, 5 will become 4.
yeah.
yes, correct.
Okay.
Sure. Okay, moving on to the next page. Which it talks as eligible activities. Where do you find that?
Oh,
I guess it's like state that,
gotcha.
On top of page 15,
so it looks like.
yes. Yep.
Okay, so, down at the bottom, where it says application requirements and approval process.
Yeah.
I crossed out step 1,
Yes,
because we're not doing the application.
No.
And then, and step 2 isn't there either, it's simply gonna say. TURA encourages all potential applicants to thoroughly review the eligibility of their proposed project prior to submittal of any application. Projects should improve private assets of the district by revitalizing distinctiveness and integrity of the structure of property. Does that make sense?
mm-hmm,
Okay, all right, so that was just like an introduction, so then you move on to the next page. This is where,
so. We're not changing step 2 to step 1, we're just,
you're just crossing out you start crossing out step 1. Step
Uh-huh.
1.
right,
Step 2, the last sentence, staff will meet with private project applicants to determine if the proposal, you just cross that sentence out.
okay,
So you only have, for step 2, you have,
yep, just that, yep, okay,
okay. And then when you get over to the next page, you just cross the whole mess at the top.
yep,
And what was step 3 now becomes step 1,
Love it.
okay? So,
so step 2 is not step 1, that's just like a,
no, step 2 is just an introduction.
okay,
So, step 3 becomes step 1.
Okay.
So now it reads, cross out a full. It reads applications, so you have to capitalize the application and put an S at the end of it. And I put shall be submitted to TURA by email. And just left it at that, I didn't put the address in, but it says you can submit it otherwise. Then applications will be accepted, crossed out and reviewed year round.
Okay.
At a minimum, completed applications will include, and I crossed out the pre-applications. After include, you put a colon. Then it would be the application form, evidence of property and or business ownership. The plot plan, preliminary design drawings and after drawings. Put, there's a comma, and I put the acknowledgement of planning communication. Right. Then it just continues on preliminary budget of project costs and contractor estimates. I think it would be good to bullet those, but it would also change the formatting for their. Next visiting agent stuff. People would have to do that.
So I think bullet points good, it'll automatically shift it down, so.
Yeah,
Okay, well then you might wanna just bullet those
okay,
different things. Okay,
So you said preliminary design drawings, comma. Then after that, the acknowledgement of,
planning communication. Yeah, that's a form, or, we can put the word form after. Form, so the acknowledgement of planning communication form,
preliminary budget proposal.
then the rest of it stays the same. Right, and then step 4, now we go to step 2. Cross out the word full. And it says applications
mhm,
are reviewed by the P and J committee, which will determine if an application was substantially complete.
Okay.
And then cross out upon request. And just put, capitalize the T on the. The P and J committee may request additional information, which may include, but is not limited to, an interview, site inspection, the rest of that paragraph.
okay. On what is now step 1, if I'm making it a bulleted list.
Yeah.
Do we want it to be a checkbox, or do we want it just to be?
Because the
Okay.
checkbox is in another place on the
Okay,
thing. These are just the guidelines.
Okay.
The checkbox is on the actual application,
okay,
so they have to.
Gotcha.
Okay, so step 5 is now step 3.
Yep.
A recommendation by the P and J committee will be submitted to the TURA board of directors for a final determination. And this is where this is where it's changed. And now it will say, after determination period, another sentence. The applicant will be invited to attend the board meeting. To answer questions of the board.
mhm,
And so I essentially use the last couple sentences. And then it
mhm,
says attendance at a board meeting is not mandatory, but could result in a more favorable decision. So that was all up in
we'll
here.
be
I
invited
just
to
put it down
attend.
there, put it down here, where it made more sense.
Can you repeat that again?
Yes. So where are we?
Uh,
The applicant will be invited to attend the board meeting
uh-huh.
to answer questions of the board.
To answer. Okay.
Period.
Okay,
Okay, and basically then the next sentence is the last one that's right at the top of the page. It says attendance at a board meeting is not mandatory.
I'm just gonna grab the sentence. Here and get it down. Okay,
But could result in a more favorable decision from.
okay,
Okay, that takes it. Then of course, number 6 becomes number 4. And then we get down to the design or engineering assistance. And the first sentence, I crossed out the request and, so it says at. Let's say,
have the recommendation.
at the recommendation of the P and J committee. It says at the, so we cross out request and, so this is at the recommendation of the P and J committee. TURA may offer design or engineering assistance for a maximum amount of $2,000. So my question here is $2,000 enough? It's been $2,000 for a really long time, prices have gone up.
Well, I think the question about that. Cause it's not enough to cover like actual engineering or architecture and stuff. The question is. Are you trying to do like a litmus test to make sure that people are actually committed to moving forward? Because if so, then forcing them to do the development work on their own is saying like, hey, are you really ready to spend $400,000? You better be ready to spend $10,000 to even, you know what I mean, if you're ready to get in the game. And so that's kind of.
But it's just for some of these people. They have to have things engineered. And that's a lot of money.
It is.
So like Madeline's has that, these models. It's a fake on it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it had to be engineered,
Sure, yeah.
and so for her. It'd be a lot, so I don't know, it doesn't make any difference, it just was a question I had as to whether or
Oh.
not about 2,000 was enough, or should it be 3,000 or.
I mean, I'd go up to 5,000. I'm not fighting the idea. I was just
Yeah,
poking holes to see what it is trying designed to do.
I think it's just designed to give people some assistance.
Yeah,
It just depends on how much assistance you want to give.
I don't know, do you guys have any thoughts?
I'm not familiar with the costs as far as engineer and stuff goes, so. I don't feel like I have really. I mean, I know everything's gone up in price, so wouldn't surprise me if we needed to increase it, but I don't know what to.
Yeah,
So I trust your judgment or, what you guys think, so.
what do you think, Tom?
I like the idea that you floated by, and we're going, the $5,000 amount.
Okay.
And so, and the fact that we're saying an amount up to, so if engineering ran 3,500, then. You know, we,
Yeah.
of course, give it 3,500, if they were say out there and say, I don't need 5,000, I need 3,500, then of course we could adjust it accordingly, so $5,000 is a reasonable number.
Up to, yeah.
I think
Okay.
5,000.
But so we're gonna change the 2 to 5 then, to the 5. Okay. Here that page. The next page. Starts on with, this is a 2, application and payment reimbursement made, so we go down to number 3. There everybody finds.
Mhm.
Information, applications and forms are available online, so just cross out at the TURA office and all the way through Oregon and or, and then just are available online and I checked it out and it actually works. So, okay, and so number 7. Says loan payments begin after the first draw request, with payments based on the entire loan amount. Unless otherwise agreed upon by TURA and borrower. I don't know if that's true.
I haven't gone that way myself. About, do they start making payments on the whole amount, even though they only got a small disbursement?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make any
Maybe we
sense.
should just cross this one out entirely. Because they're gonna have a contract,
Yeah,
and so the contract is gonna say what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
yeah. Cause, yeah,
And they'll know, and that's, I'm pretty sure that's not what we've been doing.
No.
That they, number 7 is gone,
They said, okay.
that they have been, when the project is over, is when the repayment kicks in. When they finish the project, be sure that's what it's.
yeah, I mean. If I was taking a loan, I wouldn't mind having to start paying the loan on the draws, but it would sure be a lot better. To just wait, because then you could get, a year, no payments,
Right, and I think that's what we've been doing.
that's fantastic. I wish we ran the financial sector for it.
We could try it.
We could, no,
Some people do it.
We could be the template.
Yes, we could.
absolutely.
Okay, so then there's a big project construction and payment reimbursement procedures. So, this was pointed out by the attorney that not everything we do is construction. So she suggested using like project, so take out the word construction and just write in the project. The project may begin
Mhm.
only after all contract documents have been signed by the applicant and TURA. Any work done prior to contract signing, not contract approval, will not be eligible for reimbursement. Well, now the documents kind of matching. Talk about signing.
We're under that, in that title,
Yeah.
do we wanna leave the word construction there?
Oh,
Oh. Sorry. Okay, so we just take out construction, thank you.
very good.
So this is
Good
project
catch.
and payment reimbursement. Okay, yeah. Okay, number 3, after the word submitted, I put in writing, any changes to approved projects must be submitted in writing for board consideration. That was it for that page. And the only thing I did on the next page under staff contact information, I crossed out Andrea Goss, and I think instead it should just read TURA and then write out the word administrator.
Mm-hmm.
Although from time to time she gets it, you know, I don't think that.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you cross out A Goss and then put TURA in there.
Yep.
And then the rest of it seems to be okay.
Yep.
Okay, and then the next thing that would occur in this packet is that you would have your goals and objectives.
Yep, so no more free app, get rid of that.
And then there's an FAQ, and we're gonna go over the FAQ, but not with this particular, it's the same thing, but that's just what this would look like, it would. You don't have this probably in yours, it doesn't necessarily keep these copies, the goals and objectives, and then the FAQs would be. This is a packet. Makes sense?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Here's the. Okay, so let's now look at the piece that's called design or engineering assistance application.
Thank you, Pat.
Oh, here it is, it's page 27.
Thank you.
Because I'm looking at things that are not the same.
Yeah,
Which one is all over? Okay, so, you all should have gotten a copy of this because I asked Sarah to do it, so the extra calculating should be on the last page. Last page, because I accidentally, I think I didn't make it the best.
Well, I think so.
Can you give it real quick?
Yeah.
It's just one page. It's all right.
Sure. You pass it down, Tom. I'll grab a copy.
So, yeah, like the way this looks, the fact that it was a whole bunch of pages. So I wanted to, I changed it into a 1-page doc. And some of the stuff that was in this packet for design or engineering assistance was redundant. I mean, you've already supplied it with your application. Supplying.
Maybe good to take it with you for, especially for you.
Oh, Bruce, you might even make it to Survivor or Bachelor
We're
or.
gonna bring that up, yes. He says he knows, he says he knows me.
I feel I'm an Emily in Paris guy. But you can watch that one.
And what's that called?
Emily in Paris.
Oh,
It's the cutest show on Netflix. It's about a young woman who moves to Paris and she's got a ton of problems. Like, for example, one boy that likes her is the most elite chef in all of Paris. But the other boy that likes her is a Formula One race car driver. What is she supposed to do? That's exactly what she does.
Okay, so I took this packet, which essentially probably had like 4 pages in it, and turned it into 1 page. And I don't know if Sarah can actually make it come out to be 1 page, because this is sort of the kind of thing you get when you copy a PDF and then you paste it, and it doesn't come out with the same stuff in it. But, I did change a few things, so, I like the way the pre-app was done, so that's the way the beginning of this is. And then it says at the top, this application is only valid when submitted with a complete application for private assistance, but that's false. Okay, okay, so it sort of follows what you have here, and then. The requirements, talk about. Well, it's on the back of the old one here. It says, yes.
Mhm.
So professional design work shall not, I've got engineering part, but professional design work shall not begin until this application is approved by the Tillamook Urban Renewal Agency Board and a contract is signed, because we have been signing contracts for this $2,000.
Yep.
Yeah. Eligible, ineligible projects are described in the application. And design assistance funding shall be reimbursed to the applicant only after receipt of reproducible design materials, a copy of the invoice, and proof of payment as outlined in the application. Okay,
So going back up to the very top, just under the word requirements, professional design or engineering work? Where do
yeah.
you want to
it's-
see that? Commissioner?
I just like that. Professional design.
Or engineering work?
Engineering. Work, yeah, okay.
Okay,
And what was the goal? It was just to,
For this,
to make it more simple or to.
yeah, so it started out as a 4-page packet.
Oh, okay, I
It
see.
had all these other pages in it, they expected me to put like this piece in here and the. Also
Yes.
certification and everything, so I just simplified it to 1 page.
Gotcha, all right.
Because the person will have to have had a full application. And this goes, and they get, this should be separate on the website, but, they'll have a full application already, we'll have all this information that they've already done in here, so we don't need all that again.
Yep,
And basically, they're saying, I need help.
yeah, it's just clever, I understand now.
And so then there's an anticipated project start date, and then no lines to write on, I understand that, because that's how, yeah, but we. Sarah, you figured it out for me. Expected completion date, total estimated cost of the project, and you don't get that unless you. Talk to some contractors, and then the amount that you're requesting, so.
When we have this currently on the website, it is attached to the
Yes, and it should,
public.
it shouldn't be, yes, it's attached to the public one, which is just really weird and bizarre.
Right. But, and I agree, putting it online as its own
Yeah.
page totally makes sense. My question is whether it could be submitted with a public assistant,
I
no?
don't think so,
Okay,
public ones are different.
okay,
And so we'll talk about that, so anyway, but
Okay.
yeah, if this is okay, then we can. do that one.
okay.
So that's all of that. And then we have the public this. And after 7. So. Just keep roll through this like that. Okay, I didn't copy and paste a whole bunch of this. So for. I just changed it. And I believe it's. So the public one, the front page looks like this. Looks sticky.
The public project,
Yeah.
public project, it's still page 30. Mhm.
Okay, so I just like that the way it is. And then there's an expenses amount, and I left that the way it is. And then there is, if the applicant is not the owner of the subject property, the some of this seems a little strange for these, but the only. We've been on TURA for a really long time. The only public projects have been done for the city. They haven't been done for anybody else, except we had one that was public-private partnership thing, and that was the, what's his name? Where Anderson Forest is, Kershaw.
Steve Kershaw.
Yeah, so Steve Kershaw wanted the sidewalk from Maine down to his building, fixed because like there was a big gap. Nothing was really a gap, but it was a space. You had to step up and think into all those stores. So he worked with the city and they did a new sidewalk, put in Virginia on there. And so that's the only time. So really, the only applicant is the city. It doesn't mean they just come in here and say, we want money.
Yeah.
But because they did the last time. And they did, and things turned out a little differently. So they need to fill something out and it doesn't hurt them to fill this out. And then also to give us some expenses, they probably should be finding. Yeah, it's just cost estimates from licensed contractors on the next page. And the only thing that's not on, in this list is the planning, communication, and that should probably be added. There is the acknowledgement. And in the list under number 5. Acknowledgement of planning communication.
Hmm.
Okay, they can fill that out too.
That on page 32.
Thank you.
Are you finding?
I got 32, so what were the changes there? I'm sorry.
So just at the, under 5,
Yeah.
just at the bottom, we would put acknowledgement of planning communication form, because they should do, they need to go talk to the planner too. I mean, they will because they're the city, but still.
Who did you told me who public could be, right? Didn't you tell me?
Who public would be?
Weren't you the one that
I
told
don't know,
me
public
what?
is a city.
It is the city, but it could be. Weren't there other,
No, because like, like the.
is the library not public?
No, so the
That wasn't-
library park was put together by a nonprofit, and so we filed to take a private.
Okay,
About PUD.
No.
I hear you, I hear you.
It's a corporation, and so it would, I think they would all be private.
Okay.
So basically, when we're talking about a public project, we're really talking about the city.
Okay.
And we've done projects with them, one of them, and some of them haven't actually, I'm not sure they actually followed all these, already had this, but. Yeah, so on this street between Main and Stillwell. Yeah. There was an emergency and so TURA paid for it to fix the lateral lines, all which got broken.
Yeah.
My understanding is because of the safety trucks, but who knows? Anyway, we're fixed. Yeah. But, yeah, so the only other, the last time they came to us was like. Probably 2 years ago now, maybe, almost a year and a half. They wanted money to build the house that was supposed to be, have the sewage press put in it. And they just came and said, well, we get about $350,000, well, how do you know that it's gonna be $350,000? Well, because of experience. No. You
You need
you guys are gonna get, you need to go back and get some numbers from somebody. Well, it turned out that it wasn't 350,000, it was closer to 900,000. And, well, it wasn't just a house, it wasn't just a,
Yeah.
it had, it involved some plumbing and some electricity and, you know, all this nation. All these things, I wasn't even sure that it was actually in the TURA district, was certainly hoping that maybe it wasn't, but it was, because part of the sewage treatment plant is, and part of it isn't, but that part of it is shit. So. But anyway, and I don't know where they found the money, but You never heard from him yet, I guess he's open shed. Yeah,
Oh, so,
I don't know.
yeah,
I kind of assumed so that they did, because. If they didn't, they weren't gonna have a real good place to take all the sewage, because it doesn't stay here.
no,
They move it over to the valley. It couldn't have too much water in it, because if it had too much water, people that they were taking it to didn't really want it. So. And then they have to take further, and with more water in it, it takes more trucks.
yeah, heavier,
What a mess. Maybe they just need a digester. Might have been cheaper than the press. But I'd like to see a digester, I hate the thought about that.
or an incinerator,
No, well, it's wet.
yeah, a kiln.
That's what the digester is.
But okay.
So a digester is a kiln, we put the cow manure in and it comes out as it's fluffy stuff, you know, and so they could have done the same thing.
But, I'm just.
Yeah. I have a feeling that's probably happened a few times.
You mean they don't put it in the trash?
Fish are bigger.
Fish were-
Anyhow, so, gee, man, I even thought about that, I wonder if they thought about that. A digester would have been better.
That sounds like little nonsense. I don't get it, I don't know.
Well, for a while, we let them actually spread it on our field.
That's true.
Then we had these little layers, pancakes and stuff.
Okay, it's,
So plastic doesn't.
no,
So anyway, you're fine. Okay,
everybody's so sorry.
under 6, certification by applicant. The very end, it says, to the best of the applicant's knowledge, that all required permits and then cross out have been obtained, will be obtained prior to the project's start date. Okay, and then the next line says, if the applicant is not the owner of the property, cross out to be renovated. Well, I'm not sure if that applies, but it's,
I was thinking the same thing.
because it's, some of these things we're kind of taking. Yeah, that would do that, and then the rest of it would be pretty much the same, so. Property owner, and the property owner, where it says return to further you only to put word in the other.
I've got a comment that we should have in place.
Okay,
So are we on page 32, is that correct?
I don't know, where are you?
Yes.
Yeah.
32, okay, so, well, where did I go now? I have to use. Okay, so the second paragraph, okay, section 6,
Mhm.
the second paragraph, the application is not the owner of the property or if the applicant business is a partnership, comma,
Oh, okay,
corporation, comma, etc.
okay, got it. That might be another one too. Yeah, and then if the applicant is not the owner of the cited property. So the word cited goes between the property and the person. And then once you get down at the bottom, I don't think they have any email for this.
Yep.
And then the packet would include, so you have. First page, and you have the second page, it was just went over. Then you have the expenses, the budget page. You have the property owner consent form, so I suppose private. A public thing could probably happen on somebody's private property. Depending on what's stressed. And then you have the planning communication page. The approval agreement and receipt of funding page. And then, should say all proposed work is completed. It needs to be changed, on all proposed work. Or. Let's see, or phases. Or agreed.
Agreed upon phases,
Phases
where's that?
are. Okay, this is on the papers and on Google agreement that goes with this.
It's 36. I believe.
Okay,
Okay, and so, yeah, so number one, I understand that money shall not be distributed until all proposed work or agreed upon phases are completed and inspected. So that was like that.
oh yeah,
For
like the other
everyone,
one,
for
Mhm.
everybody.
All proposed work or agreed upon stages are completed.
Phases
basically,
Phases.
yeah.
are completed
Are completed.
and inspected. Well, I'm pretty sure that sometimes we don't actually agree upon the basis, they just can't happen. But
Mhm.
then there's the W9, it's a city, it's a W9. Okay, that's it, that's that.
And we have
We have one more.
public project assistance guidelines.
Yes.
Okay.
This is the last one. Okay, so this is the TURA Public Project Assistance Guidelines, and I don't know yet, what you do.
Page 33.
Okay, the change that I made, so it does say here that the funding of public projects will be determined through a different application process. So this is a little bit different than the other ones. And, so say the city wants to, us for wants some money from us. It says that they will require a presentation to the full board at a regularly scheduled meeting prior to the submission of an application. And then, they have to have obviously budget estimates, timeline, and then on the last bullet. Under this, after everything else went through, at the very end of it, I put in the same sentences before. Compliance with this requirement is documented with the acknowledgement of planning communication form found in the application packet.
Where is that?
And then, so where it says requirements on the page,
Uh-huh,
and then the very last bullet,
okay,
okay, then you're gonna add the same sentence that you did before. That says compliance with this requirement is documented.
oh, gotcha, okay,
Okay.
yeah. Documented in the,
With the acknowledgement of planning communication form.
Mhm.
Found in the application packet.
Okay.
Yeah, and so they're gonna come and make a presentation, and it says the applicant will make a project presentation, the board will have the option to request of the applicant a full application with further information. Then we go to the proposed investigation, which kind of means that the board might even just say, well, you just made this presentation, we think it was fantastic, and we'll let you fund it.
Okay,
But it's a little different than working in the city. And so the next page, under additional information, application will be submitted to the TURA office or by email. And then under contact information, I saw Andrea Ross, and it says TURA administrator here, and then just TURA until.
Yep.
And then the goals and objectives will be in this packet. And then there's a page that's called, what kind of activities can we find the good anymore? And these are all, well, these are all public types of things.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, and now we're up to the FAQ. And that looks like this.
Page 38, yep. Next page, so, right there.
Okay, really reading. Okay, so I didn't make any changes at all on first page. But I did make a bunch on number 5. Okay, and this is just a comment, but on number 4, it says, those who rent a business or residence can apply with the permission of the property owner. Well, we haven't really been doing residences, probably never will. But, so I don't know whether to leave that in or not, because that does happen to actually be part of the goals.
Well, to me, the word residence, I think that's more to do with like housing rather than a private. Cause it doesn't say private residence, right?
No,
You know,
Right.
so. Like an apartment building, like maybe you can live in the apartment building, but there's, you know,
but maybe we do that. So, all right, we'll just leave it like this. Okay, so number 5. The first step in the application process is to determine if the property is located in the urban renewal district. And then I crossed out the next line that says TURA has several applications depending on the dollar amount of the project. Because, and this is an FAQ that's pretty general for everybody, because we don't actually have that.
Right.
I'm not sure what's here. Then it should say the second step is, and then I crossed out a pre-application form, which can be essential in helping the board staff. So, all the way through the full application. So now it would read, the second step is submission of an application.
Where? So,
So number 5 now reads, the first step in the application process is to determine the property, if the property is located in urban renewal district.
oh,
And then the next whole sentence is crossed out entirely. Actually, it is highlighted.
Yeah,
I should have redone this. Sorry. The second step is submission of an application.
yeah,
Okay. Followed by. A brief meeting with the applicant. Yeah, so this is like the whole. Yeah, followed by a brief meeting. With. The TURA proposal and justification committee staff. I don't know if you're there or not, what did EJ meetings? Sarah?
yeah,
Okay, and then really, yeah, so that. Does that make sense? Submission of an application followed by. A meeting. With. The TURA proposal and justification committee.
Is there a period after the proposal and justification committee?
No, it's after staff. And it's, yeah. Endorse this. Then I left the rest of it in until we get down to. After a full application has been, so it's kind of in the middle of this paragraph, after a full application has been submitted, proposed justification committee reviews. And presents its recommendation to the board of directors.
Can you, I'm sorry.
After, do you find the sentence? After a full application has been
Oh,
submitted,
yeah, okay.
okay, the TURA proposal and justification committee. Reviews the application. And presents. Its recommendation to the board of directors. And that was it. That. This whole thing, the FAQ, just to sort of, you know, what we do. I left everything else the same, except when he got number 7. Per sentence, it's not 530 anymore, 6.
Do you, are we on 5 where there's no changes? I mean, you're leaving. Like the board of directors defines the amount of all
Yeah,
that stuff,
right.
okay. Okay. Where's,
and then I was thinking, okay, for number 7, block, I guess it right at the end at 6 o'clock. PM.
yeah,
And then go down a couple, let's see, the 4th line, it says the city manager acts as the administrator, well, I crossed that out because he doesn't. City manager acts as the administrator of the agency as well as an executive assistant, but that's not true. Anymore.
yeah,
And then it tells you where you can find things and you contact me, or people just TURA administrator,
mm-hmm,
okay, and that was it. But we have to use.
Crazy good.
I think that was everything, so is everybody happy with these? Yeah. So, we'll vote on them. The next meeting, so, and if you want, we can go over them, if you have them all typed up and everything.
okay,
So when we meet at the beginning of December.
Yep.
And we'll just go through them again,
okay,
and then.
okay.
Thank you, everybody. All right, thank you.
Thank
You.
Meeting adjourned? Oh,
No, we're not.
Really, now we're just, that's usually on the locker.
Sorry about that. So I managed to misplace my agenda, here it is, okay. No, we finished that.
Okay, next step.
Now we're on to pending business, and pending business is just for me to say. I met with Erin Essen, the name is Essen, on the 22nd of October. We did exactly what we did here, we went through each one of these, and she made all the changes. And I told her there wasn't any hurry, because we weren't gonna have any new contracts for a while.
Perfect.
But they are going to be making all those changes, and then they will send us a copy, but they will keep the templates on hand for, so that was.
Perfect.
Okay. We have to, is there a piece in here that's the consent agenda?
There was nothing to put on the consent agenda.
There was. $7,000.
There was, but that was, later, that was after
Oh, that's
the
after.
agenda was done,
Okay,
so,
and we already approved this,
yeah.
so we don't have a consent agenda. Does
Correct.
anybody have any comments other than, I really wanna go home right now?
It's the aggressively dark. I don't know if you can do anything about that.
Let me try. Okay, you know, we have no correspondence and information. Then I guess we will meet on December.
And I think it's the. I think it's the
Yeah,
10th.
this is the time.
Okay, December 10th. So we'll see you then. Everybody have a really nice Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Oh, you too, right?
Right. Also,
I know, yes.
I put it.
I usually go over to their house, my dad likes to cook the turkey, so it's easier to do it at their house.
Yeah.
But we make the pies, so we're responsible for that, and that's fun, we always enjoy that, so.
We have you guys.
Thank you, you guys as well.
How about you, are you making turkey?
No, because we have a vegan that coming on here. She's only partial vegan anymore, so we're actually having fish, which we did the same thing.
That's good.
That's
Yeah.
We officially adjourned at 7:37.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's not.